Since the Step Into the Spring Challenge begins this week, I thought I'd give you some tips on how to get the most out of it. People often ask me, do I need to get 10,000 steps per day? Well, the answer really there is no. In fact, very few people get to 10,000 steps per day. Even people who exercise 6 or 7 days per week don't make it all the time. Instead, let's think about increasing the number of steps that we do take. We know that if people get 7,000 steps a day, that they have great benefits to their health. In fact, we know that if people simply increase the number of steps that they take by about 2,000 a day, or about an extra mile, that also improves their health. But we need to remember that there is a dose-response relationship between exercise and health benefits, meaning the more we exercise, the more benefits we get, at least to a certain point. The second question people ask is, what's the total amount of exercise I need then? Well, we like to measure exercise using calories in calories per week. And we know that 1,000 calories per week that are burned during exercise leads to great health benefits. Now, for the average person, that's about 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise. If we do this, we see reductions in cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, blood pressure, even depression. Now, if we only got about half this amount, we still see benefits. And we also want to think about if we do vigorous intensity exercise, we tend to see these improvements come a little bit faster, but it's not absolutely necessary. Now, I've been using the terms moderate and vigorous a lot. So what do those terms mean? Well, for someone who's sedentary, doing moderate intensity exercise means walking or an effort equal to walking briskly, somewhere between 2.5 and 4.4 miles per hour, or walking at a pace of about 100 steps per minute. Or if you're looking at your heart rate, a heart rate between about 115 and 155 per minute for a 35-year-old. Meanwhile, vigorous intensity exercise pretty much means that you're working at a jogging speed, but not a super fast jogging speed, somewhere between 4 miles per hour and 5.3 miles per hour. Or if you're using a heart rate between 135 and 165 beats per minute for a 35-year-old. Now, if we go harder than that, faster than 5.3 miles per hour, or a heart rate greater than 165, this is considered maximal or near maximal exercise. Now, this isn't necessary to improve your health, and it's not going to give you that many more benefits if you're starting from a sedentary lifestyle. Now, also remember that you don't have to try to get all of those minutes in at once. We can get them in increments of 10 minutes at a time. That's been shown to improve fitness. For people who are sedentary, it may even be shorter than that, short as 5 minutes at a time. And certainly that's a great place to start, starting with 5 minutes of walking, and then trying to get it in multiple times per day can be helpful as well. How many days per week? We usually point people to at least 3 days per week, if not as many as they can. But there's even some research that shows that doing them just 2 days a week, back to back, a weekend warrior, so to speak, has been shown to provide some good health benefits, provided they get enough total amount of time in those 2 days. Now, remember that the lower your fitness level is, the more likely it is you're going to see improvements from these short bouts. The better in shape we get, the harder it is to continue to improve our fitness without adding that additional time. So if you do decide that you want to try some vigorous level exercise once you're used to the moderate, remember you don't have to do all vigorous exercise. In fact, it can sometimes be helpful to just add in a little bit of vigorous exercise in short bouts while you're doing your moderate, sort of make a transition there. By alternating between moderate and vigorous, you might even see better improvements in fitness than if you just tried to do all vigorous, because doing the all vigorous exercise may mean that you aren't going to exercise as long. So to sum up what we've talked about, first of all, just get out there and do some walking, right? Get those steps in there. Now, you can start with 5 minutes and then build up from there, whatever fits into your schedule. If you can do it multiple times per day, that would be great. Start with at least a couple of days per week and kind of build up from there. If you can get to 5 or more days per week, that's awesome. Now, don't feel like you need to exhaust yourself. When you're walking, walk at a speed like you're late for a meeting and you're just trying to get there on time. And now it's important that you increase the exercise from there. So set goals about increasing the amount of time you're walking each time, how many times that you walk each day, or how many days per week that you'll walk. Just increase a little at a time each week. Now, the most important thing to do though is just get out there and get in those steps.